Hey everybody, welcome back to Rink's Garage. Today we got the boat in the shop. So last year I noticed this thing wasn't pumping water real good when she's idling. Once you give her a little throttle, it starts peeing out water, but I'm thinking the water pump's starting to go bad, so today we're gonna switch her out. I got some parts from Amazon, cheap. So let's tear her down, see if we can get her switched out. So first thing we got to do is tilt the motor all the way back, so we'll tip it up as high as it goes, because when we slide this lower unit off the shaft that goes up to the engine, it needs to be able to slide out. So we'll tilt that up, and then every motor's a little different. This is a 40 horse Mariner, 93 model I believe, and this one looks like it just has, there's one bolt under here and then one bolt on front on each side that we need to take out. So I'll get her tilted back and we'll see if we can pop her loose. Alright, we got her tilted back. First thing we'll do is pop our little cover off. Down in there on this one, I believe there's a 1/2 inch. Looks like maybe it's just a nut. Not the most convenient ever. Oh, it is a bolt, so it doesn't look like there's anywhere for it to disappear in there, so crack him loose. Get him out of there. Oh, there is another bolt under there. So that's just the little water deflector. So that bolt just sticks through, and then we got a nut under here we got to take off. Oh, and another one there, looks like. So one here, and I believe 2 up front. So I'll get them all cracked loose and we'll see if she'll slide off there. Alright, so I got the 2 bolts out of here. The other side is loose. Crack this guy loose and see if it'll slide off. Like I said, each one of these is going to be a little different. Your bolts might be, I've seen some where they're all in from the bottom. This one is, if you can see that, she is coming loose. So we'll get these loosened. I think we're going to have to loosen it and let her slide down a little bit to get the nuts off, because it's just a stud sticking up. So let's see if get some separation here. A little bit of water up there. A little bit more. Now we should be able to get our nuts off. The only other thing we're gonna have to worry about, so the shaft will stick up into the coupler in the engine, and everyone has a little bit different linkage for the transmission, of course. Not sure what this one has. I'm hoping to get her down low enough so we can see if there's just a coupler there too. But she's slowly coming. Oop. Now we're down far enough we can get our nuts off. So, can't really tell yet. What we got going here, but looks like we do have a oil line here that's going to have to come out. Now I'm in a predicament. So yeah, that one is just a slip coupler for the transmission. And see if we can get this line off. Oh! Water peeing out. And now we should be able to slide her out of there. And I'll get it propped up and we'll see if we can get the water pump off. Alright, now that I got it propped up, we got a little plastic bushing we need to slide off. And then we can take the top of the water pump off. Main thing you want to do is make sure that this doesn't get turned when you take it out. Put it back in so your gear selector stays where it's supposed to, but this little plastic gear is our water pump, so take the 3 nuts off the top. So now we should be able to crack this loose and slide it up off there. So this is where your pipe from the engine comes down, sticks in, and then see if we can get that broke loose and slid up off there. And there's our water pump impeller, which is less than perfect. Another rubber cover up top to slide off. And then we can slide the water pump housing up. See, that is steel inside. It's actually in fairly good condition. And then our impeller should be right there. And I'll grab the new one, but no wonder she didn't pump real good. And then there is a key in here you don't want to lose. It just sits in there. And that's it. And then we're going to want to check and make sure that we don't have rubber down in there. Now, like I said, I don't think this one does, because it did pump once you sped her up with this 1.5 nubbers that are still on there. So crack open the new one, make sure the parts are right. So in the new one we got some gaskets. And this did come with the upper and lower. It does look like it is the same. And here's the new impeller. So a little side-by-side comparison. Obviously that could be the reason she's not pumping. So there's another gasket in here we'll take off because I got that in the kit. We can make sure our housing is okay. And right there. And I think the housing is fine. Doesn't appear to be anything sketchy with it. So this kit did come with several gaskets, a couple square ports, and then a couple round ports, which is what we have. So we'll just match them up. I got the one on the bottom, this one will go on top, and I'll just put some grease on them and put them back together. So I got some marine grease. I'm just going to take a little bit, coat my gaskets. So I'll just coat the surfaces of the gaskets with a thin layer before I stick her down on there. And I'm just going to leave the bottom housing. It looks just fine. So this stuff will soak up into this gasket. So we can slide him down like that. And then we got our new metal piece that'll go on there. Like that. And then top gasket. Slide him on there. Like that. Alright, so next thing we'll put the new impeller. So this one, since it slides down on the studs, you can't really put it down and turn it on to the impeller if we were to put that on first to get the flippers facing the right way. So I'm going to put a little grease on this too, just a little bit on the ends so she's not dry. And then this spins clockwise, so the flippers are going to be going this way. So we put her in the housing. I'll just spin it that way as I push it in till we get them in there like that. Then I'm just going to guess on the she popped out. So we want our keyway just a little off center. So now we'll slide this down over the top. And then any luck. Ooh, we got lucky, she went right on. Like that. And we can put our nuts back on. Don't want to over tighten her. And then we got our rubber boot seals, which the kit, it came with some O-rings. I'm guessing there's a couple different kinds of things, but none of this looks like anything that was in there. So put that back in the box and slide our top gasket back down. And this one. Like that. And we can put our little sleeve back up top. Like that. And I believe we're ready to try and put it back in. So get set up for that. Alright, so now I believe we're ready to slide it back in there. I did grease up the splines here and on the shifter linkage. And again, we just want to make sure that doesn't move when we slide her back together. And getting it lined up, it's got a little line up pin on there, and this has a little cup on it. So we'll just watch as we go back in. The shifter linkage is probably going to be the hardest one because that does have the ability to move in there a little bit, but and this hose wasn't connected to anything, it was just hung up in there, so feed him up in there. Get our exhaust routed in. Oop. There we go. Now, should be able to slide up in there. Okay, so now we're started in the motor. Where did I put my screwdriver? You want to make sure that the water tube gets started in the water pump. Like that. And then our next issue will be the shift linkage, which is going to be the hardest part. There she went. Just needed a little tap. Okay. Now we just got to make sure that our shift linkage goes in, which I think it did. And then get the nut started on it before we get too deep here. Okay. Make sure she's spinning the motor over. So we should be good. All right, I'll tighten down. I'll make sure our gears still work. All right, we got it back together, so we'll see if we still got gears. I had it in forward gear when I started, so we should be able to go to neutral, reverse. I think we're good. So last thing I got to do is throw the little tail fin back on, and we'll take her down to the lake and see if she pumps any water. All right, we got her in the water, so see if she'll fire up, pump some water. So before at idle, it wouldn't pee nothing out. Just about lost the camera. Whoop. Okay, see if she'll start. We're good. He seems to be pumping good at an idle. Nice full stream, so I think we got her fixed up, but that's gonna do it for today. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.